Hello, YouTube. I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney. On this channel, we answer publicly posted questions from YouTube users, getting folks the answers they need from an employment attorney. So, I'm going to answer a question from a gentleman named Ronnie. Ronnie, I'm not going to read your last name. And I want to underscore, Ronnie, you've been a real gentleman about asking this question, so I wanted to get you an answer. So thank you about how you went about things. Let's say first, before we read the question. Well, I guess two things. One, you're probably watching this on July the 4th, Independence Day in the States. If you're in the States, happy Independence Day. If you're not in the States, that's weird because this channel deals with the laws of the United States. So maybe comment down below, where are you and why are you listening? I would love to know. But if you're in the States, happy Independence Day. Go throw some tea in a harbor. I understand that didn't happen on Independence Day, but still, do it. And, all right, let's get to the question. Oh, at this point, I might be back from Portugal at this point. Maybe. But this is a pre-canned video made some time ago. All right. Here is our question from YouTube user Ronnie. Ronnie says, I submitted my case and I was told that you reviewed it and I would not be getting an offer. I assume he means an offer of representation from our firm. That is totally fine. Thank you, Ronnie. As I mentioned, real gentleman. Ronnie goes on, but I'm curious on your outlook of my case, so I have a grounded view. Okay. Ronnie, couple of issues with me giving you an outlook on your specific case. One, most importantly, when you talk to a law firm, the statements you make to that law firm are held in confidence. The attorney owes you a duty of confidentiality. So you asking me a question here is fine. You can ask me any question you want. But if I go ahead and make a video disclosing everything you said to me and how I use that to determine whether or not I would represent you, I would be breaching my duty of confidentiality to you and violating our attorney-client privilege, opening it up so people could question me about what you said to me, which they would not normally be able to do. Now, I don't believe you said anything to me directly. I think if I understand you here, you spoke with someone at my firm. They created notes for me. I reviewed those notes. And then apparently I made a decision, or at least someone said I made a decision. I assume if they said I made a decision that it was me. I mean, they wouldn't lie to you. I'm not the only person who makes these decisions here. So be aware of that. It's possible. If they said it was specifically me, then it was me. If they said an attorney reviewed your case, maybe it was me, maybe it was not. Anyways, the second issue with me answering your question specifically is, the fact of the matter is, I'm doing about 20 calls a day with potential clients. And then I'm probably reviewing 30 to 50 additional fact patterns, maybe, right now. That seems to be what I'm like glancing through here. And they come from all over. Some of them are for cases for me to take. Some of them are, friends want me to look at. There's a lot of fact patterns. So, as you can probably tell, you can guess, perhaps, Ronnie, what I'm saying here is, I don't remember anything about you. I don't know word one about your case. Even if I wanted to violate your confidentiality, and I sure as hell don't, I couldn't, because I don't know anything about you. I could go pull the notes and start reading from the notes. But again, that would violate confidentiality, and also that would require work, and these videos I tend to do off the cuff. So, what I thought I'd do instead is discuss possible reasons why I might not have taken a case. And specifically, because there's so many reasons why I might not take a case. And it's not the best way to say it is why I might not make an offer on a case, right? There's a lot of cases that I don't make offers on that are good cases, to be frank with you, right? And we'll get into that. But what I'm structuring in this video is, here's a couple of reasons in the last month that caused me not to take a case or not to make an offer on a case. Okay? I jotted a few down. Biggest, right off the top. You might be missing an element of the case, right? So in a workplace discrimination case, you need to have membership in a protected class that is protected in the jurisdiction you're in, using the laws that are available to you. And then you need some negative workplace consequence. and you need some reason to believe, some evidence to show that your membership in that protected class, at least in part, motivated the negative workplace consequence that happened to you, the bad thing, right? The bad thing, you need a reason to believe the bad thing was at least partially motivated by discrimination against your protected class. Any of those could be missing. Further, any of those could be present but be difficult to prove. Even more subtle, any of those could be present and potentially provable, but be a super complex narrative that I worry judges, juries, arbitrators may not understand. And any of those might cause me to say, hey, we spend hundreds of hours of attorney time and tens of thousands of dollars on a case. I can't take a risk on this one. It's a little too risky for my tastes. So be it. That's just the reality. And listen, people are going to be typey down below being like, Vince, what a jerk. He should be doing things to help people and he should take all the risks. And to you, I would say, I hear you. How much money did you spend last year helping people bring employment cases? Because our firm funded hundreds. So how many did you do? Right. None. Yeah. Shut the fuck up. Right? Thanks. Anyways. And Ronnie, none of this is directed at you. I just know there's already somebody, keyboard warrior, tapping away. Throw your hat in the ring. Get in the game. We'll make room. It's fine. Now, let's say the case is great. All the elements are there. I feel comfortable with all the narratives. I think we can prove everything. I think we got a really good shot. Awesome. Sometimes the case is just too expensive. Sometimes I think, boy, this case is worth 60 grand. And we'll take our percentage on 60 grand if we win it. But I'm going to have to spend 20 grand on forensic IT to get there. And that's not all. Got to pay for the attorneys, filing fees, deposition costs, maybe a videographer, maybe a mental health professional to testify, maybe an economic expert. You know what? I'm not even breaking even. Listen, I'm not going to go tell a client your case is worth 60 grand because I don't know that. I can't extrapolate. I can't tell the future. But I can have an opinion in my own heart that says, yeah, I think we can win this, and I think we win 60 grand. But looking at what it's going to take to get there, no chance we even break even. Every chance we lose big. Case is too expensive for us to take. Going hand in hand with that, kind of exacerbating that situation, you can have low value cases, right? You can have very legitimate cases that because of the way damages are calculated, 30 grand, 40 grand, it's tough. It's tough to bring that case when you want to invest in it heavily because you know you're not going to get your investment back. So cases can be too expensive to bring. Cases can be too low value. Sometimes your case is in a place where I think there's a bad jury pool. There's a couple parts of this country where, as far as I can tell, they really hate women. There's a couple other parts of this country where, as far as I can tell, they really hate black people. Do I still bring cases in those places? I do, but not if I can help it. If I can get the case out of there, I do. And sometimes I'll look at a place and I'll say, God, that's a hard place. Like, and there's other places. Like, listen, the Bronx. If you're bringing an employment case in the Bronx, that is a population that has been harmed by employers for as long as this country has existed. Frankly, my history might be a little rough there, but quite a while. It is a population that has been harmed by employers for quite a while. And if you're in the Bronx and you have an employment case and you know that you got that jury pool, defense counsel can say whatever she or he likes, but you're just going to say, Bronx jury says, what? And, they're going to cut you a check probably. But there's places in the country where you look at your jury pool and you're like, this is a tough case here. This is a tough one. And sometimes that has been enough for me to say, listen, I have concerns about my ability to help you. And if I don't believe I can help you, I don't want to get involved. Is what it is. That is a decision I make. I do not take cases that I believe I will lose. I just don't do it. Not get to my bottom line. Also doesn't help anyone. Me going down swinging doesn't make my client better off. Like, I need results for my client, not martyrdom. Me being a martyr, nobody cares. They're not going to talk about it. They're not going to remember it. They're just going to say that attorney sucked at picking cases. Good thing he's bankrupt now. They don't care. They don't care at all. So, listen, if I don't think I can put up a result where your case is, I shan't be taking it. I shan't be extending an offer. There's one kind of close to that. There's some areas where there are weird quirks of the law, where something in your case under the state laws doesn't work well. And maybe the federal laws don't do what we want them to do. That's another locational reason why we might not take your case. Now, the next couple are going to get a little more accusatory. And Ronnie, let me stress, not you. I have no reason to believe you had anything negative in your interactions with anyone at this firm. Not a single reason. None of this is you. You might be rude to my intake staff. They're going to leave that in the notes. They're going to be like, listen, case looks fine. Guy's a jerk. Sometimes they write little notes like, this lady kept asking if I was an AI. I kept telling her, no, you're on the phone with me. We're talking. And then she kept asking. I've seen that note. I've seen versions of that note. It is disturbing to human beings when you get on the phone with them and say, are you AI? And you're like, I don't think AI can talk. What makes you think I'm an artificial intelligence? Like, what? That's a conversation that happens not that rarely in this field when people call our intake center, or, our call center, whatever it is. And sometimes I read that note and I say, huh, that's a pretty weird conversation. I don't know if I want to invest a couple hundred attorney hours and tens of thousands of dollars in a person who thinks they're having a conversation with an AI who is actually a human being, who has repeatedly said, no, I've already told you I'm not an AI. I'm in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, answering phones for a living. Right? Like, that's probably not a well I want to throw my money down. Sometimes you don't do anything wrong, but you somehow make the intake staff angry. And they come to me and they say, the case looks fine, but I don't like this person. I've got to sit them down and say, tell me more. Listen, I care about what you think. You've been here a long time. We don't want to have people mistreating you. Why don't you like this person? And if they can articulate a good reason, it might give me pause. I might not take that case. If they can't articulate a good reason, I'll say things like, you can't fight with everyone, and then my intake person will never forgive me, ever, for half a decade. Not like that actually happened. But if you're smart, you won't say things like, you can't fight with everyone. Because you learn how to be a better human. There might just be too many risk factors in your case. It could just be that. I might have an issue with the plaintiff's credibility or likability. You might have the best case in the world. The best case. Oh my God, the fact pattern of the gods. So incredible. But in your free time, you run your own little YouTube channel. And in that YouTube channel, every single day, without fail, you are like clockwork. You upload a video of yourself clubbing a seal to death. Little baby seal. And you got a great case. Worth a lot. Very provable. But I know that jury might see videos of you clubbing seals, laughing about it, thinking it's funny. I'm not going to take that case. One, because I don't know why you're clubbing seals. What's wrong with you? But two, that jury's going to say, I don't want to help that person. That person's why? Why are they clubbing baby seals? That person's a monster. I don't believe anything they say, and I don't want to give them money. I don't even know that I blame that jury. Sometimes people spam us a lot. Again, Ronnie, not you. Fully believe not you. People will call intake, have an intake interview with the call center, get bumped up to an intake staff member, have a conversation, have a give and take, a back and forth. And the intake staff member will say, okay, I'm going to get these notes to an attorney, and then the attorney's going to let us know if we should schedule a call for you with the attorney. Get you your free time. And that call ends. And then between the time, the intake staff personnel say, here you go, Vince. Read this when you have a minute and let me know if I should schedule. And the time when I get a chance to read it, you might call an email 74 times. Well, I've got some concerns about how you're going to be during a 3-month, 6-month, 9-month, 4-year case, depending on where we are and what we're doing, right? I mean, are you going to call us 74 times every day? I mean, your calls are important to us, and we work for you, and we want to help. But I don't know that I've ever seen a case in this field that legitimately required 74 calls in a day. Ever. Not a once. And I have concerns about that case, and I might well say, hey, I don't think we can help this person. I think this person would bog us down. It's a good case. I like the case, but like this person's going to take the work of 7 cases if we take it. So we're not going to take it. Sometimes your case is in a place in the country where my staff just don't want to go. Or the only staff members I have who are willing to go where you need them to go are busy. That happens. There's courthouses that are in places that like aren't great. And listen, I've gone places for arbitrations where I show up and they're like, holy shit, how did you get here? Well, I walked from the train station. It's like, what? You did what? How? Slowly, it was hot out. I took my suit jacket off. And they're stunned. They're like, dude, you're supposed to like come in a car into the high security lot and be escorted from your car to like the arbitration room. What are you doing? And then when you leave, they're like, we're going to send security guards with you to walk you back to that train station you came from. Now, that story underscores 2 realities. One, I'm an idiot. A little too trailer park to know when things aren't good for me. But 2, not everyone's quite as dumb as I am. So sometimes a venue, a courthouse, is somewhere where people are just like, no, not going. And then I have to decide if I want to go. Do I want to go try a case? Haven't tried a case in a while. Not what I do anymore. Been an awful long time, right? Real long time. Certainly not a trial attorney. So probably, If I don't have anybody who's comfortable going to that venue, I might say to you, hey, case looks great. My people don't want to go. Not going to make you an offer. It happened. It happened last month. The last one's a little funny, but I can tell you a couple of these have happened. Some more often than others. Maybe I'm talking to you about your case. And you don't like what I'm saying. I'm asking questions that you feel aren't properly respectful. I need to know what I need to know about the case. I'm going to have to invest in it rather heavily. So I need to know. I have to ask. But it might agitate you. And you might challenge me to pistols at dawn. You might invite me to a fist fight over the conference room table. You might be on the phone with me and say you're coming down there to kick my ass. And like the moron I am, I might have said, yeah, I'll be here. You know where to find me. And that's so dumb for me to say that. You might just generally make threats to someone in our firm. Not you, Ronnie, just to be clear. Sometimes, before the pandy, before everybody went remote, I would get spit on about twice a year. Sometimes people would stab our office chairs. Nice leather chairs. They would just take out a pen and poof, because they didn't like what they were hearing in the intake, in the consult. Sometimes people get angry. They do other horrible things to our office chairs that I probably don't want to say in this video. It's just things can go south. It can just not be a good vibe. It can, for whatever reason, just be a case where I'm like, I don't think I want to be tied to this person for somewhere between a week and 4 years. It's that simple, right? There's just people you're like, yeah, I do think I could help that person, but I just think interacting with them would make me less happy. And I'm a pretty happy person. I am way happier than I have any right to be. I don't deserve what I have. But I'm not giving it up. So if I think you're going to make me less happy, if I help you, I probably won't. You can get mad about that. It's not going to change anything. I don't have to take cases for people that I don't think I can work well with. And I don't. Ronnie, those are just a couple of reasons in the past 30 days, I think, that I have turned down cases. We turn down way more cases than we take. It is, well, it's not rare that we take a case. We take a case most days. Many days we take multiple cases. But there's never a day we don't turn down 40x the number of cases that we take. 40 cases turned down to find one we take. Maybe more. So, Ronnie, I don't know why we didn't take your case, why we didn't make an offer of representation. You might not even have chosen to hire us, had we, right? But I'm trying to share that there's a lot of reasons. This is the tip of the iceberg. And the reasons can range from silly to concerning to just quirks of the law, quirks of the venue, quirks of the jury pool, everything. We have to make a determination as to the totality of the circumstances about whether or not we take a case. Just like you someday will have to make a determination as to the totality of the circumstances if you should accept a settlement or not. And that decision to take a case or not take a case, to make an offer of representation on a case, is high stakes for us. Because we will pour in hundreds of attorney hours and tens upon tens of thousands of dollars, if not more. And so it is life or death. for us to choose who we want to help and not help. We want to extend an offer to and not. And the last reason is sometimes I look at a case and I say, you should go to local counsel. It's a decent case, but you should go to local counsel. Local counsel will be cheaper. You have good local counsel where you are. And I don't want you to hire us and pay us more money and potentially a higher percentage when you could hire local counsel who I know will do a good job because I know local counsel. So that is also another reason why I sometimes just turn down cases. That does make people angry sometimes. That's kind of the gig. Sometimes I make people angry. Anyways, Ronnie, I hope this helps. Again, this communication, thank you. Thank you for how you handled it. Thank you for the question. I don't know why we didn't offer you representation, but I wish we were working together. I wish we had. We can't go back now, but you seem fantastic. It would have been nice to work with you, I suspect. If this video was helpful, like, subscribe, comment down below, share the channel so it can grow. Take care.